Hey guys, Joe here, back to the Word. Today, dating intentionally, 3 goals for men is what I wanted to cover. I wrote a blog post recently and I wanted to do a video just summarizing some of the key points. You can find the link to the blog post below. And also don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. So I wrote this post just because one of my friends recently was talking to me, and as I disciple young men, I end up doing a lot of relationship, dating, counseling stuff. And so there's no formula for Christian dating. There's no Bible verse that says you should do this or Bible verse that says you shouldn't do this. But there are some guiding principles about purity and about putting God first and honoring women that I think we can operate out of. And so I wanted to put those together for some of the guys I disciple and point towards Jesus. And I wanted to share those with you today. The first thing I just want to cover is the pitfall of pressure. So in Christianity, we put a lot of pressure on singles to be married, to pursue God's plan. And sometimes we put so much pressure just as a community, but also individually on ourselves. And that pressure, too much pressure, is not a good thing on a friendship up front. If you can't ask a girl out on a date because that's the same as proposing marriage, we have a problem. And as someone who went to a Christian university, works in a church, was a missionary, grew up in church, sometimes we're guilty of putting way too much pressure on ourselves or on people who are dating up front, and that's just not healthy. The second thing I would say about pressure is don't put too little pressure. If you can't see yourself spending the rest of your life with this person or see this person being a part of your life in 5 years, don't do it. Spend your time wisely on something that is going to matter for the future. Dating without any pressure at all, without any intentionality or direction, is just hurting hearts. It's hurting yours, it's hurting others emotionally, and your life, you are worth more than that. So invest in something that's going to matter until you find that person who's going to be with you or you think you may want to be with for the rest of your life. So with that, I'm going to go to the 3 goals. The first one, give, don't take. Be a man who gives and does not take. Manhood in our culture is really defined by sexual conquest and athletic ability. If it's how many girls have you slept with and how good are you at sports. Manhood based on the Bible and Christianity is so much bigger than that, and that's not even a part of it. We as men are called to protect women, to watch over them, to lead like Christ and love like Christ. So I challenge you, be a man who gives and does not take. The girl you're taking on a date is used to men coming after her in a way that she has to hold them back. And be a man who gives, who doesn't take from her. It's going to be a beautiful blessing to her, and it's what God calls you to, not just in a relationship with your date, but also in all relationships as men. Be a man who gives and doesn't take. Second goal is desire God's best for her. This is a little bit tricky, but I want you to ask the hard questions. Find out the dreams and desires that God has placed in her heart and where she's going. None of us want to be changed. We want to be chosen for who we are. She doesn't want to be changed into the picture you have in your head. She wants to be chosen for who she is, and you want to be chosen for who you are. So ask the hard questions. See what God has placed in both of your hearts, and then pray about if God would have you come together and pursue those things as a couple for the rest of your lives. That's what I want you to do. Desire God's best for them instead of desiring your best and changing them into who you want them to be. The third thing I would say is perceive her partner and wedding day. This is difficult, and as I sit across the table from guys, it's really hard to think about this long-term goal. But this is so true, is that any girl you ask on a date eventually will probably marry a husband. And you want to prepare her for her wedding day. I want every single girl my guys spend time with to be able to have a husband on their wedding day that's going to walk up to them and say, hey, I am thankful for the time you and the part you played in her story. Thank you. That is the right perspective, men. That is the right perspective, because one day that husband is going to be you. And I don't have to say anymore. So think about that now. Think about every interaction you have with a date that's going to prepare her for her future husband. Be about that today. Are you going to be a man who gives, who cares for her and prepares her for her wedding day? Or are you going to be a man like the world who wants only his best and then doesn't care about the wake that he leaves behind? Finally, I would say, honor God in your dating starting now. All of us have sinned. All of us have made mistakes in these areas, and we need to put God first now. It's never too late to put Christ first in your life and in your dating life. It'll be awkward. It'll be a little bit chunky, but I want you to do it because honoring God, pursuing purity, loving like Christ loved, and leading a daughter of the King and pursuing a woman is a beautiful thing, and we can honor God in it, and I challenge you to do that. If you'd like more or view, I would just say read more about this, or you want to read more of my comments about it, check out the blog. Remember to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Until next time, see you guys. God bless.